Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be checking out Beast Highlights, new release, Chains. Going into this, I don't know much of anything. All I have right now is the frame that is on screen, like the beginning of the video. I'm so excited. I think that this is going to be the first reaction where I can confidently name every member. I'm hoping. Um, as of recording this, this came out about 18 hours ago. So I want to remind you, this is a reaction video. This is not the original content especially because of how recent it is. But even in spite of that, I recommend if you don't like pausing and you just want to listen to the original song, please go and listen to the original song. This is a reaction video. I am autistic and pausing does allow me time to process my thoughts. I'm not someone who can hold their thoughts to the end, even if it wasn't a reaction video. So I hope you understand. But without any further ado, let's get into Highlight Chains. I'm excited. Excuse me, we're not even 2 seconds in. Put that shirt down. Put that shirt down. Have you seen him? Oh my god. Yang Yostop, are you kidding me? I love the way already like they're not coming, like we're only 2 seconds in, and the seriousness in his face, the leather and the mask, we're gonna ooh. This is gonna be a spicy song. I can feel it. I feel it. How dare. Put the shirt down. I like this synth texture. I don't. Okay, keep going. I love the way that the whoa almost there felt like almost like it blended with the synth texture there. We're talking about playing games here. This is fine. We're this is fine. Oh. I'm confused already about like each member is doing it their own thing. Sorry, separate to the song. But we've got Yosop being like a cat burglar kind of thing. It looks like Dongun is the cop. There looks like handcuffs back there. I mean that would fit with chains, but I'm curious what Dujun and Kikwang kind of characters are in this, if that makes sense. I'm loving how this sounds. And yeah, it's definitely gonna be spicy. Ooh, I like that in the background. There's like a I like that. He has a gun. I mean, he said about a thrill. He said there was a thrill. I guess that makes sense, to be fair. Like, imagine I've never robbed anything in my day, but I imagine like being a spy, being a cat burglar would be. Yeah. Come through, vocals. Ooh. The musical change up. We went from like this energetic electropop to like this soft and sultry R&B. Ooh, I like this. Um, I wonder if the gun is kind of referencing the kind of the adrenaline rush um of this romantic, sexual, sultry situation that they're singing about. I wonder. You can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't say if you want, take my soul. First looking like that, and then just the casual. No, not here for that. I'm here for that. Oh, I like that. Ooh. I love Gi Kwang's voice there. Oh, there's like a. I have to talk in like metaphors because not metaphors necessarily, but images. But like there was like this. It was almost like a cup. His voice there. That's how I describe that. Just the way that the texture of his voice. Oh, I like that though. I like this. The Breaking Chains Bound by Fate. Ooh, that's interesting. So are they? So is that the suggestion of well, they've been bound together. It's bad. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it can't be. Or is it that the chains were preventing them from? Sorry, there's sleep in my eye. Or is it that the chain? I guess the chains are the thing keeping them from this person. Maybe. Oh, I love this, and it's more like I guess the more you resist, kind of like with handcuffs. If you try and resist, they start digging in at your at your wrists. I didn't intentionally come back to this one, this frame. um, I'm interested at the choreo. I just want to see the choreo again really quickly before we move on. Or like the little flutter movement. The cinematography as well is so clean. It's just so clean and polished and it looks so good. Right, okay. Okay. Okay, panning. Panning. I was here just vibing and then the panning just came out of nowhere. Holy heck, I love it. I'm ready now. What's this? This song's got like so many different changes musically. Like just sonically, it moves between different textures and different oh. I like it. I mean, that's different than Fate. I feel like that's more than Fate. Like, I feel like Fate would bind you together, but like, I feel like you're making a choice there to remember that person's breath, because that's the thing in like, in a lot of like literature where characters are bound by fate, there's an element of a lack of choice, right? Because you're predestined, you're predetermined to be together. But I feel like here, it's not just that they're predetermined to be together, because at least one of the two people are, if we take the members of Highlight as the single character, and then their partner as a different character, they're representing, I feel like, a character that, yes, they are aware that they're bound by fate, but, and obviously I'm speculating, but it feels like they definitely want this person beyond that predetermination. I love the big trench coat there. The whole set here is giving, it feels like a throwback. Just the way the stage is kind of set up, it feels like a throwback to earlier. Because obviously I've reacted to one of their earlier, I've reacted to their debut song, sorry. Words are hard today. And it feels almost like a callback to that visually. Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that, okay. I love that. It's interesting though. On the one hand, you've got them saying, like, I would be happy for you to chain me up. Almost like just being in your presence is enough. And then here, we've got Donghoon saying about this this scarlet light. Oops, sorry. Yeah, on my wrist is a scarlet line. And a lot of cultures have this idea of a red thread, a scarlet thread, as mentioned here, where you are bound across lifetimes. Cultures that have deep beliefs in reincarnation. This thread transcends just the single life that you're living at the moment, and goes kind of throughout all of those lifetimes. Oh my god, he looks good. Sorry, I was reading the lyrics. He looks so good. I love the low-hanging V-neck with the pendant there. I don't know fashion. Do you remember? I feel like this is how I started. With my reactions to Highlight, is that I talked about the fashion a lot, even though I didn't have a clue. So on brand. It's so interesting there. They're talking about warmth, not this frame obviously, but for them to choose such a cold lit frame compared to like this frame, it's interesting that they chose to do that. I love the softness of the falsetto there. It's so smooth. Sorry, unrelated to the song. I want this hallway. the teal blue carpet and the walls and that skylight. Must have. Thank you. Deliver to my house. If you want, just take my soul. I had to. It reminds me of a song as well. The synth, the chord progression in the background, it reminds me of a song. A hip-hop song, actually. I don't know if that's where it necessarily took inspiration from in terms of the production value, the production side of it rather. But that boom, 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 it reminds me of like a hip-hop kind of rhythm. I'm not saying obviously that there's any copying going. That's not what I mean. But there definitely feels like an inspiration there. Oh, that footwork! I saw it. I want to see the dance practice to this, and I'll probably fail, but I want to learn it. Oh, the camera and the movement there. For a second there, I thought the table was a chess table, and I thought that there were gonna be chess pieces on those. I thought that this thing over here on the left was gonna be like a chess piece. It's there's almost like a last feast vibe here, though, which works perfectly if that's what they're going for with the lyric here about the game being over. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a chessboard or something. Like that. Already in my head. Oh. Oh, I love. Sorry, I love. Oh, okay. I'm gonna watch this again, and see if I can pick up more lyrics and stuff, because I was I was a bit distracted by the visuals from all of the members. Oh my God, this was such a good comeback song. Again, like obviously this is the first time I'm hearing the song. I haven't heard the medley. I think if I do listen to the medley, it will be in my own time, just purely because I have so much stuff that I want to react to. Just generally at the moment, lots of stuff is coming out, and I am a chronically ill, disabled person, so I don't have a lot of spoons to kind of go everywhere. But so this is my first time listening to this and watching it. As expected, the professionalism, the dynamicism, the synergy between the members is just amazing to watch. I love the costumes, the designs of them, the location choices. There's such grandeur and larger than life esque kind of connotations to all of these places that are in this music video, and back to the costumes themselves. There's an element of luxury and importance and power. I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about the suits, the suit that Moon is wearing, the large trench coat. The trench coat especially looks like an art piece. The song is already catchy. I love the melody in the chorus. The chorus is really, really strong. It's interesting when you think like back to like Body being the title track of the previous, or at least the first single of the previous EP. Was Switch on an EP? I get confused of what is what anymore. Um, but just the way that that sounded versus how this sounds, and obviously Highlight are capable of traversing different genres and sounds. But even just as I said with this song, the way that we were moving between different vibes and tones, and even you could argue genres throughout like the songs, like that second verse, I think it was, we started off with um, an interesting kind of almost EDM trap-esque maybe um, kind of beginning, and then back into um, the electro pop. That first bridge, and the bridge is more R&B soul kind of maybe esque, definitely R&B, I think. Um, and it's so well rounded, and it fits. It's not like when it was moving between a section that I was like, oh, this is abrasive or anything like that. It felt flowy, and it just worked. Um, I feel like YouTube was on my side as a Yosop bias this time. This music video, because the amount of times I pause, and I promise you, I was not intentionally pausing on his on his parts, or on like the moments that he was in the music video. I was really trying to pause on every member to give them all their flowers and all their attention. But I feel like YouTube was like, yeah, he's a young Yosop bias. Here's a frame. Here's a frame. Um, I bought the because I haven't done. I'm again so busy. I recently bought the After Sunset album, and another one. I can't remember what the other one was. Did I buy Switch On? I might have bought Switch On. I can't remember. It's on the shelf behind me. I was very attacked by Yosop in that. In that. I got the edition. I got Donghoon's edition of that album, and it came with a note attached, which I always thought was a really interesting and unique thing that I don't think I've seen in a K-pop kind of album before. Anyway, we're gonna rewatch this. We're gonna see if I can pay attention to the lyrics over these this sultry song, and the handsome men. um, so let's go for round two of me trying to focus on lyrics. He says that it doesn't play. Also, last thing before the lyrics, trying to focus on the lyrics. That saxophone gives such 2010s vibes. Like the amount of songs I feel like in the UK charts, especially, I don't know about anywhere else, but the amount of is it sax? It might not be a sax, but the amount of like brass instruments, is it brass instruments? I don't know. That like dominated kind of 2010s UK pop for far too long. It just immediately brought me back to then, and I love it. Oh, wait, is he wearing? I just realized, is he wearing like a skirt? Not you. See, this is what I mean. I'm trying to see Donghoon, and it it went to Yoso. No, I think just regular jeans. Okay. So it's interesting lyrically here, the way that we've got all of these things that kind of suggest probability, chance, the idea of a game being played, and then it being contrasted with all of these things that are natural. The discussion of the blood in the veins, the way they can't stop looking at this person, you know. It's a very natural thing for, it's almost like the magpie effect, if you will. It's almost it's like that kind of we look at the shiniest thing in the room, and obviously shiniest here refers to the most beautiful thing, the most attractive thing. Um, and I don't just mean that on like a surface level kind of attractiveness. Um, um, and so it's interesting. This like I said earlier, there's this element of something that's meant to happen. Um, but there's no desire to break away from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, um, it would be interesting if, and I'm gonna kind of again put Highlight as a single character. If the character of Highlight here, that's in love with this person, was trying to fight against it, but instead they're loving it, they're relishing it, um, and it's very interesting. Also, Dujun, um, throughout this has got such an intense stare, I think, out of all of the members. So him talking about gays here and the lyrics being about gays here, I feel like is such a fitting little thing.
That's in my face, 터져 이 flame, 눈빛이 미쳐 날뛰어. Look so risky, not tricky, you make me go crazy.
I love the way that that goes. Look so tricksy. Hang on a minute.
Yeah,
Look so risky, you're tricky.
risky, not tricky,
You make me go crazy. It's just an interesting rhythm. I was starting to think if there was a pattern there, but so it's fourth. You make me go crazy. Yeah, it's interesting. It goes 4-3, 4-3-6, but it just creates this interesting, almost like a dance in the actual rhythm. Which obviously at this point we're not seeing choreo, so it's interesting. It's almost like the vocal line here is the dancer, and it's almost like here the visual of this laser kind of setup is more for iconographical. That's the word. More for thematic purposes. Because I'm sure we could have have Yosop kind of doing tricks and acrobatics all around around the set kind of thing, but it feels very very deliberate. It's almost like, because I feel like even like I, as someone who's not very acrobatic, I feel like I could get through these lasers. So it's almost like that kind of, this is a normal thing, but you're making it not, if that makes sense. Yeah, which works with lyrics.
go crazy. 온몸에 들이번지듯이 you just take over.
Yeah, it's interesting. To the idea of thrill, we've talked about veins before. Um, thrill veins. And obviously your veins are kind of almost everywhere. So it's almost like replacing what's inside you normally with this lust and love for this other person and this attraction for this other person. I feel like that's what I get.
뜨거워져질 듯해 내게 맡을 때 선명하게 보이는 데자부 중독이라 해도 난 필요 없어 If you want just take my soul Break
So here, again, we've been talking about veins. We've been talking about your systems literally being taken over. Love as a drug is obviously a very common kind of trope in love songs. But here again, we've got that transcendence of inevitability. This has happened before. This will keep happening across lifetimes, kind of thing. And again, the idea of an addiction obviously can can be quite a painful experience. So that idea that they're willing to continue to come into contact with this person, despite the fact that they might get burnt, that they're willing to risk all of that, just for even a sliver of affection, even a moment of love, shows just kind of how deeply they are as, and again, I'm gonna put them as like a single character, how they are attracted to this person. That's a beautiful shot. Sorry, unrelated. I love the way that the orange just sits on his eye there, and it matches his earring. That's gotta, either that's a happy accident, that perfect like light just perfectly matches it, or that has to be intentional, right? Gorgeous. The lighting, the cinematography in this.
If you want, just take my soul. Breaking chains, 정해진 fate. We go ride or die together, baby. She's go insane, just to love you. 헤매이는 미로. 그 본능 속에 경험이.
I love. It's gonna become my new like vocal stem. The bam. The way that that's been delivered both times I've heard it, in the song, it gives me. It's very American, the way it sounds, and I feel like again that has to be intentional, because the follow-up lyric here especially is aim at that instinct, that gun iconography. There's almost an element there of, the gun iconography, kind of iconography throughout. There's almost that, kind of vibe. I feel like, if they were going the spy route, they might have tried to make it sound more maybe British sounding, because then you could associate it with like, Bond 007 kind of vibes.
Love you, 헤매이는 미로. 그 본능 속에 경험이 met. I'm dreading war. Chase, 깊이 파고들어 날 가둬버린 걸 다 cut.
Because that's the thing as well. They talk about cutting off the thing that locked them up, but then they're happy to be in chains in the way of that we'll talk about, that we've talked about already in this next verse, about that scarlet line. So it's like the constraints that they want are not the constraints that are currently holding them back. And it's interesting, when they've been talking so much about fate, that you think that there would be like no constraints holding them back. But maybe it's like a Romeo and Juliet thing, where society is kind of like, you shall not be together, and so it makes them want to fight against it.
파고들어 날 가둬버린 걸 다 cut.
I love that. Also, hang on, I just realized, did I just see dead bodies? Oh yeah, just a couple dead bodies. Just a couple of dead bodies. I didn't even recognize that on the gramophone it was blood. I genuinely, my first internal thought, both times I've seen it, like the first watch through and now, was, oh my god, they put they put jam in the gramophone, and I was like, oh, is that like a metaphor for sweetness or or something? But no, it's probably blood.
날 가둬버린 걸 다 cut. Dangerous, heavily, like a criminal, but I can't stop. 운명이 널 내게 돼.
Yeah, so the idea of the shootout, the mafia, they're willing, even the grandeur is giving Romeo and Juliet, and it's this idea, it's almost like a reverse turned on its head Romeo and Juliet, rather than the Romeo and Juliet ending their own lives. because they can't be together. Instead, they're just going to end everyone else's, which is less efficient, more criminal, um, and the irony of saying heavenly like a criminal. Um, Neither of you are going to heaven with all of those murders.
like a criminal, but I
Love
can't
that outfit on him, by the way.
stop.
I haven't said that.
때려와 네 손가락 하나까지 남겨보려 해. Turn me up, baby. You know I could be your prisoner. 내 손목에
Did I say that Gikwang was wearing the trench coat, or did I say Dojun was wearing the trench coat? I can't remember. I had a different point, but that was my immediate thought. I couldn't remember if I said that. It feels like what obviously I'm kind of putting them all together as like a single character, but it almost feels like in these moments here, especially with that shot of all of the kind of the chair sequences that I've seen, which is them kind of just sat on a chair, that almost feels like each of the members almost has like a dual role where they're both the person chasing after this love and killing everything that's in their way, and at the same time, so the underdog, but at the same time, there's other shots that almost give them the vibe of the mafia head, the big chain gang boss. Did I mean to say chain gang boss? No, but I read the word chains. The big gang boss. Um, and so it's interesting if that is a factor that they have that kind of dual role.
Turn me up, baby. You know I could be your prisoner. 내 손목에 scarlet line.
I love that jacket. I want that jacket.
네 용기가 스며들 때 너에게 닿을
Interesting here as well at this point. We've gone from you're so hot that I risk burning myself, hurting myself, to now it's a gentle, because warmth versus burned, it's softer, it's more welcoming, it's more inviting, and it's almost that idea of like if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best kind of thing. If you can't handle the superficial things that you see at the if you can't handle the more serious stuff at the in the background, you can't have, I don't know, the more superficial stuff or something like that. I don't know. But it's just an interesting that we've developed that story there lyrically.
특별함을 느껴 is rendezvous 꿈이라 해도 난다 상관없어 if you want just take my soul breaking chains 정해진 fate we go ride or die together baby she's go insane just to love you 헤매이는 미로 그 보는
Oh, it's such a like you probably can just see like me mouthing the words. Like it's such a singable chorus. I feel like, do you know how like on TikTok there's that Kendrick meme of the footwalk? I feel like this song would be my equivalent to that. Like I'd just be walking around like sing every room I come into just singing this part.
insane just to love you 헤매이는 미로 그 본능 속에 경험의 맷 I'm drowning whoa touches 깊이 파고들어 날 가둬버린 걸 다 cut You that's all in my head 넌 벗어나지 못해 끝없이 roll the dice 제자리 맴돌고 있잖아
Again, there's this juxtaposition between written in the stars, fate, rolling dice, probability, all that kind of stuff, that all the odds are in your favor. And then there's this other kind of thing that says like I've got to fight against a system to make that happen, or a world or a society or something to make that happen. Because otherwise it's all a fantasy. And it's interesting, the idea that something can be, because fate in itself is both real and fantasy depending on where you sit, right? Because there's people that believe in fate and therefore for them it's very real. For others, fate is almost an excuse. And so you have these two different things. So it's interesting that both thought processes are kind of being played out by this character. Um, hmm.
없이 roll the dice, roll the dice. 제자리 맴돌고 있잖아. 온몸에 맡겨 we go beyond extreme. And 하면 아끼려도 같은 맘이라는 game is over. 정해진 세-
Yeah, it's interesting. So I like that because there's an element of consent there, which I like. There's your high your high fantasy of like I'm coming and knocking on your door, I'll find you, woo. But then if you feel the same as I do, the game is over. It becomes this movement from a game of chance to it is fate. And so there's an element there of consent in that this character will accept what it is. Obviously, they want the game to be over because they want the almost the chase to be over. But there's an acceptance there of that it may not be, they may not be compatible. They may not work out. There may not be a mutual attraction, which again is interesting when you think about fate that's been running through all of this. Because again, fate has this feeling of no control, no consent. It's just you two are together in every timeline, have at it, fall in love kind of thing. And so it's interesting here that there's still that element of consent despite all of that fate that's been running through.
같은 맘이라는 game is over.
I love that stab in the background.
We go ride or die together, baby. Just go insane. Just to love you every minute. 그 본능 속에 더 너의 man. I'm drowning. 더 chase 깊이 파고들어 날 가둬버린 걸 다 cut off.
Love it. Love it. I just want to go back to this last frame real quick. Yeah, it definitely feels like a last feast kind of thing. Kind of last feast mafia kind of. But at the same time, you've got the grandeur, the almost the historical kind of visual to it as well, with the goblets, and this cake like thing over here, and just everything looks, without looking aged, it looks old, if that makes sense. And you got the chains there. Yeah. I love that, and then the contrast between, because I guess you could argue like the light up the top and the white kind of above the light kind of almost is that heavenly kind of thing. I think that this is gonna be one of my favorite songs of the week. One of so far. In terms of this week, I've heard "Time" by SB19, and then obviously "Chains" here by Highlight, and both of them are going to probably remain in my top 5 of this week, of new things that I've heard. Also, apologies if you can hear my bones cracking. I can't help it, but I'm consciously aware of it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I wasn't sure again what I was expecting going into this, but amazing. My only kind of sadness about this is I'd want it to be longer. I almost like, I don't want it to be like one of those hype pop dance remix things, but I almost would like a 10-minute mix version of it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I really like it. It's interesting as well, the choice of font here. for the title. I don't know if I'm assuming this is if they've got single art that will be on the single art in the same way, but the way it looks, visually, the typeface, it's almost like a perfume brand kind of typeface. Like there's an elegance and a prestige to it. Um, I really like feel like if I just saw this, that I'd be like, oh, it's for a perfume or it's for a fashion line or a fashion house or something. Um, it's just it's interesting. There is also it kind of does also look like cufflinks a little bit. Um, especially I'm just gonna re-show you this. Especially the S here. It's almost like you could like have like this is a matching pair and this is a matching pair. Um, and all of them have, apart from this. You really had to change that, didn't you? The C really had to mess that up. I was gonna say everything apart from the C has a matching kind of pair. You got a pair, a pair, a pair with the dot of the I and the body of the I, a pair, and then you've got two pairs in the S there. And then the C just had to go and ruin my plan. um, um, no, but that apart from that, they all have pairs. I guess you could say that that's the turbulent sea. That's the the turbulent sea. We're not pirates at this moment in time. But you know, you could say that's the turbulent sea of the chains or something. I don't know. I'm waffling. But no, I really enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me. Um, Please let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed when you first listened to the song. And if you haven't listened to the song and you're here, please go and support the original song. I'm just here, just enjoying with you guys. Um, and so, yeah. Oh, this was written by Kikwang and Iris. Interesting. Composed by Kikwang as well. I love I've noticed when I've read the linear notes for things, I have noticed a lot of Gikwang in the lyrical compositional crediting section. That's not a sentence. I've noticed him a lot in those credits um, for the songs that I have. Um, but yeah, I, I definitely feel like he's got that sexy image and that sexy vibe. So I feel like that has definitely come through in this. Um, but yeah, please let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Thank you again for watching this with me, and watching my reaction. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this new. Is it an EP? Is it an album? The new release. I think it's a mini album, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much again for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.